Kim Keon-hee, South Korea's First Lady, has recently become the talk of the town, thanks to a slew of explosive allegations. From fake degrees to exaggerating her resume, her past has sparked widespread skepticism. But it doesn't stop there. She's also been accused of controlling powerful networks, accepting lavish gifts worth over 3 million Korean won, and even bending anti-corruption laws. Her family's history is just as controversial. Her mother was convicted of insurance fraud, only to be later cleared, raising questions of political interference. Her brother, accused of stock manipulation, allegedly made millions through shady dealings. So, what's really going on behind all this? Could Kim Keon-hee really be using her connections to climb the political ladder? Is her story about empowerment, or is it a darker tale of power and corruption? Want to uncover the truth? Click to keep watching. You won't believe what's really going on.
If you want ordinary, look elsewhere. Welcome to TC Channel, where other channels fall short, unique mysteries solved step by step.
Kim Keon-hee, born September 2972, was originally named Kim Myung-shin. She grew up in the Dongdaemun district of Seoul as the third child in a family of 4. She has an older sister, an older brother, and a younger brother. Due to her father's job, the family moved to Yangpyeong County in Gyeonggi Province. Her father worked as a public servant. Tragedy struck when Kim Keon-hee was just 15, and her father passed away unexpectedly, leaving her mother to raise the 4 children alone. After the funeral, Kim Keon-hee's mother, Choi Yoon-sun, sold their land in Seoul and moved the family to Nanyang City in Gyeonggi Province. There, she opened a motel called New World, which brought in a steady income for the family. Later, Choi Yoon-sun expanded into real estate, and the motel was renovated into a health resort. At 20, in 1992, Kim Keon-hee enrolled at Gyeonggi University's Arts and Sports College, majoring in fine arts. After graduating, she pursued further studies at Yuha Women's University, focusing on art education. While in grad school, she began teaching at several middle schools. By 1999, after completing her master's degree, Kim Keon-hee entered Mingguk University for a PhD in digital design, which she completed in 2008. She also earned an EMBA from Seoul National University. In 2090s, while still studying, she made her first fortune through stock trading. At 35, in 2007, Kim Keon-hee founded her own company, Kobana Content, which focused on organizing exhibitions of international artists. In addition to curating exhibitions, she also worked as a part-time professor at several prestigious institutions, including Anyang University and Suwon Women's University. In 2008, at age 36, Kim Keon-hee changed her name from Kim Myung-shin to Kim Keon-hee. 2 years later, at 38, she met Yoon Suk-yeol, who was 12 years older than her. Yoon Suk-yeol, born in 1960, became a prosecutor at 34, but by 50 he was still unmarried and had only 20 million Korean won in savings. Meanwhile, Kim Keon-hee had already amassed billions in wealth. At this pivotal moment, a feng shui master advised them that marriage would bring them both good fortune. So in 2012, they married. After their marriage, both of their careers took off, with Kim Keon-hee organizing high-profile art exhibitions. In 2017, she was named one of Korea's 100 trendsetters. That same year, media reports revealed the Yoon Suk-yeol family's assets, with 6.2 billion Korean won registered under Kim Keon-hee's name. On March 10, 2012, Yoon Suk-yeol was confirmed as the first president of South Korea, and the very next day marked the 10th wedding anniversary with his wife, Kim Keon-hee. In July 2019, Kim Keon-hee made her first public appearance when Yoon Suk-yeol was appointed as the Prosecutor General by Moon Jae-in. At that time, she was seen adjusting Yoon's suit, and her appearance, along with her elegance, quickly drew attention. However, as Yoon Suk-yeol announced his candidacy for president, his political rivals began bringing up Kim Keon-hee's past. In June 2021, a document titled X-Files of Yoon Suk-yeol began circulating online, detailing Yoon's background and controversies surrounding his family. One of the most discussed parts was the claim that Kim Keon-hee, in 1997, worked under the name Julia at a high-end venue in Gangnam, Seoul. The hotel had claimed its 6th floor was a machine room, but it remained in operation until it was later dismantled in 2016. The document suggests that during this time, Kim Keon-hee, or Julia, built connections with numerous business tycoons, which helped her career later on. As the document circulated, Korean netizens were quick to engage in a heated discussion. In December 2021, An Hae-wook, the former president of the Korea Taekwondo Association, gave an interview where he stated that in May 1997, he visited the hotel's 6th floor VIP room where he met Julia, who was later identified as Kim Keon-hee. When asked why he remembered the exact date so clearly, An explained that he had just attended a Taekwondo event and was invited to the hotel the next day, which made it memorable. The document further pointed out that Kim Keon-hee and Yoon Suk-yeol's meeting wasn't as romantic as the public was led to believe, but rather facilitated through an introduction by a third party. Some speculated that Kim's name change was an attempt to distance herself from past events. On July 29, 2021, a mural appeared in a bookstore in Seoul depicting a woman who resembled Kim Keon-hee with the caption, "Julia's men, Julia's dream is to become First Lady." The mural listed people Julia had met, including doctors, executives, and even a prosecutor. While it didn't explicitly mention Kim Keon-hee, it was clear to many who the artwork referred to. Kim Keon-hee and Yoon Suk-yeol strongly opposed the artwork, but because it didn't specifically name her, they didn't take legal action. On December 13, 2021, Kim Keon-hee responded to the Julia issue, claiming she had 2 master's degrees and a PhD, and that she had been too busy with her studies and work to engage in public relations activities. She denied being Julia and questioned why no one from the hotel staff ever came forward to identify her. Yoon Suk-yeol's opponents didn't find further proof, and this case remained an unresolved issue. Her education, work history, and even her appearance all called into question. In 2022, South Korean prosecutors concluded that the reports surrounding the Julia incident lacked sufficient evidence, and they filed charges against An Hae-wook and the TV station that aired his interview for violating the Public Official Election Act. However, during Kim Keon-hee's clarification, she did not initially address her academic credentials. When the topic of her academic background came up, it reignited public discussions about alleged irregularities in her educational achievements. In July 2021, Kim was accused of plagiarism in her doctoral dissertation, as well as 3 other academic papers she submitted during her doctoral studies. These papers, completed within the span of a single year in 2007, raised questions among some individuals about their quality, since writing a high-standard academic paper typically requires a significant amount of time. In September 2012, a joint academic organization composed of 14 academic associations published their investigation results, which concluded that Kim's 4 papers contained unauthorized reproductions of content. For example, her doctoral dissertation reportedly included 860 sentences, 220 of which were found to be uncredited copies. The investigation noted that 40 sentences were allegedly sourced from a research paper by a professor at Seoul Women's University, 24 sentences came from newspaper articles, and 146 sentences were taken from a website called Happy Campus, similar to an online research archive. Despite these allegations, Kim's alma mater, Kookmin University, stated that the 5-year statute of limitations for investigating the thesis had expired, and the university was therefore unable to verify whether plagiarism had occurred. This response from the university sparked criticism among some South Korean citizens who expressed disappointment. On October 1st, 2021, more than 200 Kookmin University alumni gathered at the school's entrance, holding banners to voice their dissatisfaction with the institution's stance, and symbolically returned their diplomas to protest what they saw as a failure to uphold academic integrity. As her husband, Yoon Suk-yeol, campaigned for the South Korean presidency, these issues surrounding Kim inevitably drew greater public attention. In November 2021, Kim faced further accusations, this time related to alleged discrepancies in her resume. In 2007, as she prepared to graduate with her doctoral degree, Kim reportedly submitted resumes to 5 universities to apply for lecturer positions. Years later, allegations surfaced that her resume contained over 20 inaccuracies, including claims of exaggerated academic achievements, work experience, and awards. One claim in her resume stated that in 2006, she attended New York University's Stern School of Business to study entertainment and media courses. However, reports suggested that this was part of a 6-month program offered by Seoul National University, and Kim allegedly spent only 5 days in New York, with much of the time spent visiting museums rather than attending classes. Kim also included in her resume that she worked for a cultural technology company's strategy planning division from December 2003 to December 2006, but critics pointed out that this company was established in November 2004, raising questions about the accuracy of her work history. Kim explained that these discrepancies might have been due to memory lapses, given the significant time that had passed, but maintained that she had indeed worked for the listed companies. Her resume also stated that she received an award at the Seoul International Animation Festival in 2004, but reporters found no record of her name among the winners. When questioned about these issues, Kim denied any deliberate falsifications, describing the inaccuracies as an effort to enhance her resume, which she argued was common practice. She added that at the time of submitting these resumes, she was neither a public figure nor connected to Yoon Suk-yeol, and questioned why such scrutiny was necessary. This explanation drew criticism from some South Korean citizens, who felt her attitude was dismissive and unaccountable, and the controversy also impacted public perceptions of her husband's presidential campaign. On December 26, 2021, Kim held a press conference to publicly apologize, admitting that exaggerating her resume had been a mistake. She expressed regret for the impact her actions had on her husband, stating that she felt deeply sorry. During the press conference, Kim apologized multiple times and acknowledged her responsibility for the controversy. She also shared personal struggles, including her inability to have children, in an apparent effort to elicit public understanding. Shortly after, past and present photos of Kim began circulating on social media, with some questioning whether her appearance had been surgically altered. Kim firmly denied extensive cosmetic procedures, stating that she had only undergone double eyelid surgery. On November 27, 2023, a left-wing media outlet in South Korea, Seoul Voice, released a video that stirred widespread discussion. The video, filmed on September 13, 2022, shows Pastor Choi Ja-young, a Korean-American, visiting First Lady Kim Keon-hee and presenting her with a Dior handbag worth 3 million Korean won. Although Kim Keon-hee says in the video, "Please, don't bring gifts like this again," she ultimately accepts the gift. The video was captured by a hidden camera installed in Choi's watch, and the gift was provided by Seoul Voice. The background to the situation is as follows. Pastor Choi Ja-young is an advocate for fostering good relations between South and North Korea, while President Yoon Suk-yeol's administration has taken a firmer stance on North Korea. In January 2022, during Yoon Suk-yeol's presidential campaign, Choi Ja-young reached out to Kim Keon-hee, offering advice for Yoon's campaign. In May 2022, Choi received an invitation to attend Yoon Suk-yeol's inauguration ceremony. A month later, as a token of appreciation, Choi visited Kim Keon-hee's office and gave her a Chanel cosmetic gift set worth $1,300. During that meeting, Choi claimed to have overheard a conversation that suggested Kim Keon-hee may have had some influence over the appointment of certain high-ranking government officials. As a result, he decided to reveal information about Kim Keon-hee. Choi later contacted Seoul Voice, arranging another meeting during which he presented the gift, and this time he secretly recorded the interaction with the hidden camera. Choi stated that he had repeatedly requested meetings with Kim Keon-hee, and each time he would send gift photos in advance. However, only twice did he receive approval to meet, and both times it was because the gifts were luxury items. According to South Korea's anti-corruption law, even without a clear conflict of interest, government officials and their spouses are prohibited from accepting gifts over $750. When the video was released on September 13, 2022, it sparked widespread debate in South Korea. Yoon Suk-yeol's team responded, calling it a well-orchestrated political plot. Choi mentioned that he and Yoon's late father were from the same hometown, which he claimed was an attempt to build rapport, and that he had requested meetings multiple times. The timing of the video's release was seen as an attempt to influence the upcoming 2024 South Korean National Assembly elections. Yoon Suk-yeol further stated that his wife's biggest issue was not being firm enough in rejecting the meetings. However, he also noted that presidents and their spouses cannot always be unsympathetic. Despite this explanation, many South Koreans still took issue with Kim Keon-hee accepting the gift, believing the correct course of action would have been to reject the gift outright or return it afterward. In December 2023, a civic group reported Yoon Suk-yeol, Kim Keon-hee, and Choi Ja-young-to, the National Rights Commission, which launched an investigation. In June 2024, the National Rights Commission concluded its investigation, stating that Kim Keon-hee had not broken any laws and closed the case. However, 2 months later, on August 8th, a senior official, Mr. A, responsible for investigating the case, was found dead in his home, which reignited public attention on the matter. According to the Hankyoreh, Mr. A had sent a message to friends just days before his death, saying that he was deeply upset and felt great pressure. He also reportedly told friends that during the investigation, he disagreed with the decision to close the case, but felt unable to oppose it. In a later report on August 9th, the Hankyoreh revealed that the issue of Kim Keon-hee accepting luxury gifts had sparked heated debate during a meeting of the National Rights Commission. Some members argued that if the case were closed hastily, it would damage South Korea's reputation internationally, and they feared it could be seen as the commission assisting the president. When one member referred to the luxury gifts as bribes, another quickly intervened to stop this characterization. On July 2, 2021, just 3 days after Yoon Suk-yeol announced his presidential candidacy, Kim Keon-hee's mother, Choi Yeon-sun, was accused of collaborating with others to set up a medical fund and allegedly running an illegal elderly care facility. From 2013 to 2015, Choi Yeon-sun was accused of illegally obtaining 22.9 billion Korean won in insurance money from the National Health Insurance Corporation. 3 of her partners were convicted in 2015, but Choi Yeon-sun was not initially charged. In November 2020, the National Health Insurance Corporation filed a lawsuit seeking to recover the insurance money. On July 2, 2021, the Gyeonggi Provincial Court sentenced Choi Yeon-sun to 3 years in prison, and she was arrested in court. Yoon Suk-yeol publicly stated that everyone is equal before the law, and he affirmed this principle. However, just 6 months later, on January 25, 2022, the appellate court overturned the conviction, citing insufficient evidence, and Choi Yoon-sun was acquitted, with the National Health Insurance Corporation withdrawing its claim for the 22.9 billion won. This ruling sparked public debate, as it was only 2 months after this verdict that Yoon Suk-yeol was elected president. During the trial, Yoon Suk-yeol's background as a former prosecutor raised questions about the fairness of the decision, especially since the appellate judge had past academic and professional ties with Yoon. The prosecution appealed, but in December 2022, the Supreme Court rejected the appeal, stating that the appellate ruling was correct. While Choi Yoon-sun was acquitted, her legal troubles were far from over. In March 2021, Oh My News published a report on Choi Yoon-sun's involvement in real estate, implying that her interests might have affected Yoon Suk-yeol's political career. Later in the same year, Choi Yoon-sun was implicated in another case, accused of forging bank statements, falsifying private documents, and violating real estate registration laws. Between April and October 2013, Choi Yoon-sun was accused of forging bank statements as collateral for land purchases and using other people's names to sign contracts. In December 2021, the first court ruled that Choi Yoon-sun was guilty of document forgery and sentenced her to 1 year in prison. She appealed the ruling, and on July 21, 2023, the appellate court upheld the original sentence and decided to arrest her immediately, citing the large amount involved and the risk of flight. In court, Choi Yoon-sun became emotionally distressed and needed medical assistance. Eventually, she was escorted to the detention vehicle by female officers. On May 14, 2023, Choi Yoon-sun was granted parole. On May 12, 2023, Kim Keon-hee's brother, Yoon Suk-yeol's brother-in-law, was implicated in the Yangpyeong New District Development 5B case. The investigation has concluded. The ESIMD company, run by Kim Jong-woo, was accused of forging documents related to construction fees and inflating project costs and duration, resulting in underpayment of development fees by 1.748 billion Korean won. Additionally, after Yoon Suk-yeol took office, the planned Seoul-Yangpyeong highway route was suddenly rerouted, with a new endpoint located near land owned by Kim Keon-hee's family. Some of the land belonged to Choi Yoon-sun's family and her children, including land registered under Kim Keon-hee's brother, Yoon Suk-yeol's brother-in-law. The proposal for the new route was passed by the local council without a public hearing, which sparked widespread public concern and led to suspicions of undue influence. In July 2023, due to increasing public outcry, the then Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, Won-hee Ryong, held a press conference, announcing the immediate suspension of the project and stating that he was unaware the new route would pass through Kim Keon-hee's family land. In addition to these issues, Kim Keon-hee and her mother, Choi Yoon-sun, were also involved in other cases. In 2021, they were accused of manipulating the BMW dealership in South Korea and profiting from the stock market. Kim Keon-hee's family's actions raised public concerns about their potential involvement in questionable legal practices. In 2022, Yoon Suk-yeol's public image was affected, especially after his family members' controversies were exposed, with his past as a prosecutor being called into question. Despite the ongoing controversies surrounding Kim Keon-hee's family, Yoon Suk-yeol was successfully elected president in 2022. A poll showed that 56.6% of respondents believed it was necessary to replace the current candidates, with support for both Yoon Suk-yeol and Lee Jae-myung being low. Yoon Suk-yeol won the election with 48.56% of the vote, just ahead of Lee Jae-myung, who garnered 47.83%. Surrounding Yoon Suk-yeol and his family showed no signs of fading, continuing to be a major focus for the media. Some members of the public have expressed concerns about the potential involvement of certain external influences on the presidential family. During the 2021 presidential election, observers noticed that Yoon Suk-yeol appeared on stage with the Chinese character King written on his palm. This sparked speculation that it might have been a symbol tied to fortune-telling or other advisory practices. Later, a figure known as Master Heavenly Palace was mentioned in reports regarding connections with Yoon Suk-yeol and Kim Keon-hee. This led to public discussions about whether such relationships could influence decision-making. The individual, who refers to himself as a personal mentor to Yoon, claimed to have provided guidance during challenging times. He also mentioned meeting with Yoon nearly every 10 days and stated that Kim Keon-hee had introduced them. During a televised debate on October 5, 2021, former lawmaker Yoo Seong-min asked Yoon if he was acquainted with Master Heavenly Palace. Initially, Yoon denied knowing the individual. However, when pressed further with reports suggesting the master had called himself a mentor, Yoon admitted to knowing him, but emphasized that the relationship was not one of mentorship. Regarding the king character written on his palm, Yoon explained that it was a supportive gesture from a neighbor meant to encourage him during the debate. The master himself later clarified that he had no involvement and said he would have advised against it if consulted beforehand. After taking office, Yoon relocated the presidential office from the Blue House to the Ministry of National Defense building in Yongsan. Officially, this move was explained as a way to improve operational efficiency, citing issues with communication between the separated main building and the secretarial offices at the Blue House. However, some members of the public speculated that the decision might have been influenced by efforts to distance from the symbolic Blue House curse. There were also unconfirmed rumors that the relocation was suggested by a consultant. Yoon is also known for his strong bond with his wife, Kim Keon-hee. At a May 2022 inauguration dinner, Yoon was seen putting down his wine glass after a glance from Kim. On another occasion during the inauguration, when Yoon stepped slightly ahead, Kim gently pulled him back. These interactions gained significant media attention and prompted discussions about their dynamic. Some commentators have compared past political figures to current dynamics, raising questions about the potential influences surrounding the presidential family. Others speculate about the relationships between Kim Keon-hee, prominent business figures, and other advisors. However, these remain areas of public curiosity and debate rather than confirmed facts. Looking ahead, the actions and decisions of the presidential family are likely to continue drawing public interest, offering opportunities for further discussion on their leadership and role in society. Kim Keon-hee's case brings to light a deeper issue: the importance of power control, transparency, and accountability in the politics of any developed country. We often see voters supporting candidates clouded by scandals. So what is the urgent issue facing South Korea now? How can the political system ensure transparency and integrity? How can we stop behind-the-scenes figures like Choi Soon-sil who manipulate and undermine the social order? More importantly, is the country's democracy strong enough to overcome these risks and restore public trust? President Yoon Suk-yeol's story reminds us that politics is not just about the struggle for power. It is a collective responsibility for society to uphold integrity, transparency, and accountability. These are the foundations that allow a democratic society to function.